just blank. Like, Vlad, did you mean to message me? Just sends another blank message.
Sing us a song, you piano man.
Please
Sing
don't.
us a song tonight.
Please shut up.
Fuck you.
Where did you get your lyrical license?
Where the fuck did you get your living license? Oh, right. It was just kind of forced upon you.
He holds up a certificate from the Institute.
Yeah, I know. It was forced upon you. Foist upon this man a fuckload of anxiety.
Foist?
You gave a perfectly good toaster anxiety.
Remember when Odette was convinced that blueprints were for a toaster oven?
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm not entirely sure why you thought such a thing, but
She
we're gonna
rolled a
move
nat
past
one.
I rolled the nat one. Yep.
I know as a player, Wilson thinks she's an idiot.
Also, I'm ready
You also
whatever.
thought that Frank Sinatra was Biggie
Begin the
Smalls.
fuck. Let's ignore the man in the white suit.
Alright, moving on.
Are you ready, Jonathan?
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
I ate a cactus.
I've been ready for the past, let's see, how long has this been running? 18 minutes, 38
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
You got outtakes.
Those aren't outtakes, those are intros.
Oh my god. I like the concept he stores them for future use.
He just trims it, takes the separate audio files. Like, I will hold on to this for a blooper reel.
And here's 28 seconds of Michael screaming. Just hold on to that.
You know, Lucas singing Piano Man is majestic.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something he would keep.
See, what you don't know is one day later on, I'm just gonna have a soundboard of all of you.
Oh my god.
You're just gonna have you're gonna have Lucas like, "You son of a bitch," on standby.
I specifically want George saying mayo chop.
Oh my god.
So he has to be screaming it. Mayo chop!
You're all
George.
disappointments.
George, defender of mayo chop.
Oh.
Vlad, get my knife.
For whatever
2
reason,
seconds. For 2 seconds, I thought he said, "Get in my mouth."
is it weird that that's what I thought too?
What? Get my what?
Get in my mouth.
No, I said get my knife.
That's not at all what I thought you said.
That's exactly what I said, John.
We both thought you said that. That is
You
so
both dumb. Fuck you.
Jesus fucking Christ, you're all lunatics.
We're all gonna.
You're not much better, buddy. Also, thanks, buddy.
We're all
Stop
going to hell
this.
with the IRS.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think Rita missed that entire bit. Where we came to the realization that apparently I believe the IRS runs hell. Because tax evasion is the first and only relevant sin.
Which means most Catholics are going to hell.
It's entirely possible.
Simply for supporting churches.
It also includes benign tax evasion, or unintentional tax evasion. Like,
Living off the
like,
grid.
Yep. Like, so I see you forgot to file your taxes in 07. Well, I did, but there was a clerical error. Well, I'm sorry, but that does mean hell. No, he looks it over, he looks at, the footage of their life. It's like, oh, yeah, no, that does appear to have been an honest mistake.
Oh, I'm dying, hold on.
That being said, tax
Rules are
evasion.
rules.
Yep. Hell you go.
So who's got their sheets open?
I do.
Ian's good.
Who has their dice?
I do.
Ian's good.
I love how Matt hasn't responded to either question.
Yeah, because he's
dead.
dying. Yeah, I poisoned him. He's gone. He's gone now.
Welp.
Rip.
Rest in pepperoni.
Yeah, that's how we dispose of the body. Like shoved him in a meat grinder.
I feel like you don't know how they make pepperoni.
No. It doesn't come straight off the vine.
What vine would you be referring to?
It's just like I'm using like Sims logic. Like, yes, you got it off the meat tree. I see.
Does The Sims have a meat tree?
Yes, it does. Well, yes and no. You can make something called the Omni Tree, on which you can grow anything, including meat.
And you grow babies?
I did say you could grow meat. I'm going to hell.
So you're admitting to tax fraud.
That's what I come back to.
I'm
It all
going to
comes
hell.
full circle.
So you're admitting to tax fraud.
Well, to hell you go.
Oh my fucking god.
There's
NSA,
no
not
God.
today.
Oh.
Okay. So, we ready?
Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, I was just gonna say last time, but way to hype it up there, buddy.
I mean, it's what I do.
So,
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, Nancy screamed for 28 seconds.
can we get a replay on that, Nancy? Go.
Anthony,
No.
28 seconds. 28 seconds, go.
No.
Fuck you.
No. Just no for 20 seconds.
28
She's
minutes of
imagining
screaming.
she's
You got it.
walking. She's walking backwards slowly. Are you screaming?
Alright, I'm done for real
or... Okay. Alright.
That was great on
And speaking of screaming, how's Tooth McGinnis? How's Tooth Lost McGinnis doing?
Where are you going with that one?
You mean
I don't
Vincent?
No,
Who's
The
Tooth
guy
Lost
who-
McGinnis?
the guy who had his teeth painfully removed.
Oh, him. I forgot about him.
I didn't.
I'm
feel
not
like you're-
sorry anymore.
I feel like George walked into that room, saw that, and just kind of was like, this may as well happen. Just walks in to see Mom and Lucas covered in blood, and is like... See, I was going to ask if you guys wanted to go out for milkshakes, but... yeah, not really feeling it anymore.
No. Give us a few moments. Let's clean up the viscera.
No, I think I'm just going to cry in the corner for a bit. See you later.
Nah. Get over here, man. Mom is already looking at me, waiting for me to say bucket. Under
So
the table,
fucking-
her hand is extended in a slap form.
I was going to say she's holding a slipper.
She's
No,
not a
not
Spanish
chocolate.
mom.
Not the chocolate.
He is neither Spanish nor female.
You know, you got me.
I
I'm
need
really
to stop
doing-
trying.
I'm really doing nobody favors by naming a male character Mom.
No, you really
No,
are.
you're not.
Mm-mm.
Every one of us has fucked up once.
Oh,
Have
just
I?
one
Yes,
more
I
quick
have.
anecdote, since I know we're just going to keep interrupting anyway. John, do you remember a certain Nightkin companion from Fallout New Vegas?
Yes.
That's going to be fun for me to do a voice for.
Probably.
Grandma loves you.
I mean, it's not exactly that hard to do, I don't think. It's basically the orc voice, but a little bit of gravel to it.
Yeah, well, not
And
everyone
also,
can tear their throat asunder every day.
no, I
Hey, it's
also
not
am
that
gonna.
hard to do. This
Matthew?
doesn't hurt my throat.
Matthew. That's
Yes.
because your voice is naturally okay with that. Michael's voice is not. Voices are different. Your larynxes are very unique and specific to the said person they are in.
To this. There's
Fine.
something about the way you said that. I don't know.
You shouldn't have said it the way I did. Oh well. It's been said. I
So
can't
previously,
On Dragon Ball Z.
on Avatar. On Pokemon.
there has got to be other shows that start with previously on.
Pokemon.
Besides just Avatar and Dragon Ball Z.
Pokemon.
Dragon Ball's Avatar.
Last time on Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh, last time on Sailor Moon.
I'm surprised it took like long for that to come up.
So the party
Mm-hmm.
decided that it would be best to go and retrieve Mom to see if he was
Mhm.
ready to go on the journey.
Did fuck it up this
Mhm.
time.
No, I said he, because
Golf
Mom is
clap.
a he.
Golf clap.
Mom is male. I will say it again. Mom is male.
For a second, it kind of
Don't make me
like
choke
said
on my
Mom is
tapioca.
mayo.
Mom is mayo. Mom is mayo shop. This is the hill I choose to die on.
It's not a very big
Oh,
hill.
you're gonna die, alright.
As Vlad revs the dual rippers.
So, Nancy decided that she would not step foot in the New Ghoul Alliance
Ever again.
ever
This
again.
is fair. I have a feeling by the end of this session we will never be welcome in the New Ghoul Alliance.
And so she stayed at the cart with Vlad and Oleg and Truffles, while Lucas and George went to go get Mom. Lucas, upon entering Mom's house, I'm unsure what to call it because it is her
Secret lair.
his house.
Her domain.
Ah, see, you said it too.
God damn it.
I
Mom was
did.
in the middle of pulling Ghoul's teeth out, as per
His
his
own
request.
Yep.
He just didn't want to have teeth anymore.
Although he wanted new teeth, which required the removal of the old teeth.
So, Mom had Lucas help with that.
Mm-hmm.
Lucas didn't say no.
Actually, hold on. No.
No,
It's
Lucas,
less-
look at him. Are you No, Lucas, ask Mom, why are you doing this? Mom responded, well, honey, because he asked me to. And I looked at him. Is this true? I'm not sorry anymore.
And then I think he, made some kind of wincing noise.
And then, when George finally arrived, after they had finished pulling his teeth out and replacing them with brand new teeth,
Mm-hmm.
No one questioned where he got the new teeth.
No. I assumed they were fake, but at the same time, George really didn't want an answer to that question.
They were mole rat teeth.
They were mole rats. There's no shortage of them, so
He
that's
can't
why
close
people
his mouth.
Oh god.
Oh
He's got
my
some
God.
serious overbite now.
The more fucked up part of this is those are the teeth he wanted. Like he specifically brought them for this purpose.
He's been hunting mole rats for years.
I love it.
At the time, once Mom was finished pulling his teeth, he agreed, and he was ready to go. And then, as I have specifically written as part of the recap,
Mm-hmm.
and with a little Boston Jewish mom therapy,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
he's ready to move out. And I put as a footnote, George got a roach cowboy hat for Vlad.
I forgot about the Roach Cowboy hat,
Papa Roach!
which he just left on Vlad's head while he was sleeping. That is specifically what he did. He just put it there and then left. So poor Vlad is just gonna wake up with this thing on his head. He's gonna be like,
So,
yeah. So,
right now, Nancy, you are by the cart. Oleg is off doing something.
He's wrestling a death claw.
yeah, probably.
And Vlad is still on the cart sleeping. And for the record, you do still have one of the, as you call them, nightmares, covered up on the cart.
Nightmares. Wait.
The stalker.
Oh, right.
There's a dead one on the cart.
Yeah, George also kind of is suspect about whether or not it's actually dead.
Yeah. I'm gonna
He's-
be saying during this whole time, Nancy is keeping an eye on the stalker or the nightmare, and on Vlad, because she has a feeling Navstabluki stuff might happen with him.
That's the Lucas. I mean, I think the saddest part is I completely understood what she meant with that. So yeah, let's just run with that. Javin goes.
For the time being, you're just going to watch Vlad and the stalker?
Mhm.
Okay.
Nothing very exciting, but important work nonetheless.
Yeah, important work, having Vlad wake up to you just staring at him. Not moving, not blinking, not feeling.
Good morning.
Hello, my son.
Oh wait,
Jesus Christ, that
he
made it
has
so
a
much
haircut
worse.
now. Will he recognize her?
Probably. Knowing Vlad, no.
No, he already saw her once
Yeah, he did.
with the
Oh, yeah.
name.
Right. Didn't he think he was hallucinating?
No, he thought that was someone else.
Oh. So we've already confirmed that he didn't recognize her.
He has his ups and downs.
Are you
Look,
implying he
John.
has down?
Thank you, Michael.
I'm sorry. I now feel bad. However, that joke was too easy to make. I couldn't.
So,
Was it about as easy to make as mashed potatoes?
I don't know, and I don't know what that means, and I don't really need to, I imagine.
Don't worry about it.
so
I will.
I will say, Vlad does begin to wake up. And as he is waking up, he looks over at you, gives you a smile and a light wave. Morning.
Morning. Waves back. Did you sleep alright?
Yeah, I had a weird dream, but aside from that, it was fine.
What happened in your dream?
Well, I was being chased by a bunch of radroaches,
No, oh no!
and, well,
Oh no!
it told me that I shouldn't look up today. So, I don't want to look up. I
Wait,
feel there's something on my head. Nancy, what's on my head?
gently takes it off him and shows it to him.
Oh my god!
I need to make a roll.
You thought long and hard about this, John.
Oh my god! So what this is telling me is that the Babadook actually tried to warn Vlad about the hat. Like, even the Babadook was like, now this is cold. It's just like too fucked even for him.
So I had planned for, Vlad to be awake for all this. But, based on his role, as he looks at the hat that Nancy's holding and stares into the dead eyes of the radroach, Nancy, you see his eyes roll into the back of his head and he just flops back on the cart.
She goes to say
Oh
something,
my god.
slowly recoils, looks at the hat, sighs, and puts it on her own head. In a somewhat defeatist way.
Now we have Mama Roach. I'll embrace your ship, John.
Oh, please don't. I mean, of all the possible ships, that's probably the most logical. I'll say that.
What are we talking, like we're not having boy love between George and Lucas?
I feel like they have, like, a hate.
I feel
have,
like-
They're both tsunderes.
Oh my god.
The relationship between George and Lucas is like the relationship between Zuko and Sokka.
Oh my god. We both love and hate each other simultaneously.
What did
And
the
on
Homestuck
occasions,
call it? The
Hmm?
Homestucks have a name for this. I think it's a kismesis?
What?
I don't know.
Anybody here familiar with Homestuck? I'm not very
I read like 4,000 pages of it, and then Blaise told me I was less than 25% through it, and I gave up.
Anyways, continuing forward.
so
Going straight, not like most of this party.
like
No,
I
it's a
said,
lie.
I think
Plan.
it's funny that I'm the only character who I know for a fact has a straight character.
I mean, what do you think Vlad's sexual orientation is?
No.
I don't know. Yeah, I honestly, yeah. I think George is not. George personally believes he is quite possibly ace. Granted, he doesn't really care enough to do anything about it. I mean, not that there is anything, you know what I mean.
Cross.
George doesn't care enough to mention it.
So, back at Mom's, Mom was going upstairs to go grab his gear, and that just leaves George and Lucas on the main floor, just standing around. So, what would you like to do?
I'm not going to stop calling you that, by the way, unless you actively tell me not to.
Oh my god. What is wrong with you all?
I actually said this, by the way, Michael.
Hold on, what did you say?
I said, I'm not going to stop calling you that unless you actively tell me not to.
Bucket?
Yes.
I don't care. I've been called much, much worse. As I
Right.
imagine, so have you.
Mm-hmm.
Like vodka.
George hears the voice of the DM. He's like, "Who said that?"
Fuck is a baka?
No.
I'm more concerned as to who said it.
I mean, it was obviously the Babadook.
I feel like John is essentially the Muppet. If we're being honest.
It's fine.
But the Babadook is his self-insert character.
You all thought it was Vlad. It wasn't.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So what would you like
What
to do?
was that noise?
That was
Don't
They
worry
were
about
like,
it. Alright, so we still need to buy a fuck ton of food. We got caps. Have you bought food? I can't remember.
Teach a fisherman to fish and something about taxes. Look, it's more important to me, personally, that we get some kind of steady supply of food rather than just a surplus.
Yeah, but we're gonna need food to give them when we get back. They've been
This is-
kind of running low, George.
This is true. This is true. I was more interested in getting a merchant who we could trade with.
A merchant
Continuous.
isn't gonna give us that bump that we initially need.
This is true. We will buy a surplus. I'm just saying, while we are buying food, I'd like to also find a supply line for more.
I understand that. Alright,
Okay.
obviously one of us should probably stay here so that when Mom comes back down, they can lead they can lead him over to the camp, to the cart, and then...
Actually, wait. Wasn't George supposed to go upstairs to look at Winks?
Was that a thing?
I
You said you
think
wanted
it
to do
was.
that later.
We'll just say it later.
Alright. I'll go around to a couple of the merchants in town and see if anyone in the city would have decent food that we can bring back to the settlement.
That
Hell.
would be helpful.
Hell, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. Not a big deal. I don't think it'd be very bad if I can find maybe a roaming ghoul merchant who could actually set up shop in the city.
This is true.
So, how much caps do you got right now?
Hold on. Let me check. I know it's a lot.
You have 15,246.
Okay. Whatever that voice in my head said.
How many of that are you willing to part with to go towards the food surplus and possible merchant supply lines?
He hands you every single cap.
Okay.
He keeps one.
Okay.
He keeps a single cap.
So you have given
Yes.
Lucas 15,245 caps.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd like
I
the
need-
change.
You'll get change. Alright. I need to open my calculator. Alright.
You brought this on yourself.
Actually, I'll just fucking have yours be a separate number. There.
Yeah.
There. So that way I can just keep things nice and easy. Anyways,
Man.
I don't think milk's going to be very good to be bringing back and forth, especially
probably
this
not.
far into past the war. Regardless, you stay here. I'm going to head around to the merchants in town.
Sounds like a plan, Stan.
Alright, so Lucas, you're just walking off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm gonna say by this point, George starts pulling the hair off. Because
Okay.
he's. Whilst he has not necessarily decided whether or not he's gonna go with a wig, he has decided that he's not using this in its current state. So he tries to salvage as much of it as he can.
Okay. So you're just going to be periodically picking pieces of hair off of you while you wait?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Essentially.
For the record, I will say that you do hear a bunch of moving, banging, and clanging coming from upstairs.
Eventually, George heads up to see if Mom needs help.
Okay. When you get upstairs,
Oh boy.
the entire upstairs is just one gigantic room, sectioned off by little, like, medical dividers.
The curtains.
Yeah. And in each of the sections, because they're all pointed towards the stairs, into all of the sections. There is the one on the left appears to be Mom's room, as it is actually pretty buried. There isn't much there. There are 5 suitcases packed there, and Mom is running back and forth from a dresser and from the other 2 sections and putting things into those suitcases. The middle section is where Mom apparently stores all of his medical supplies, and you do see there are big medical boxes, a bunch of stim packs lying around, Radaway, basically everything you would normally see in a medical shop. And the right side, completely contrasting to the other 2, is just caked in dried blood everywhere. And there is a single metal table up there with a gigantic bin on the bottom, and there are what appear to be surgical tools and a big ass hacksaw up there. And Mom is running back and forth, grabbing tubings, forceps, the hacksaw, basically gathering everything from up there.
Alright.
What would you like to do?
So does he see Mom?
Yeah, Mom is just running back and forth from all these sections, putting stuff into the suitcases.
You need a hand, friend?
He looks over to you and waves you away. Oh no, I'm good, darling, I'm good.
Alright. Well. Just kind of stands there for a moment. I guess I'll just go back downstairs, I guess.
Alright, well, if you're going back downstairs, would you carry some of these bags for me? My shoulders are stiff.
Kind of like, very briefly, just stares directly forward. And just kind of thinks to himself, that's why I came up here. And then he just smiles and said, yeah, sure.
Okay.
Like in his mind, he's just like, you idiot.
So, there are 5 suitcases, one of them still being open. They all look pretty much identical. Different levels of wear and tear on each of them, but generally all the same.
Alright.
One of them is pretty damn heavy, seemingly packed with a lot of metal, because whenever you try and lift it up, you do hear clanging coming from inside. One of them is supremely light, presumably packed with either medical gear or clothes. Another one is extremely light, again, either medical gear or clothes. And then there is another heavy one. Not as heavy as the first one, but still pretty heavy.
Does George need to be rolling strength? No, George doesn't feel like showing off today. he's just gonna take them one at a time.
Okay. So you're just gonna take them one at a time downstairs.
Yep.
Okay. So Lucas, when you walk outside of Mom's store, you do see the usual hustle and bustle of the city. There are people walking around. There are some people starting to gather at the fighting pit. Doesn't look like anyone has gone in yet. The stalls are completely open. Everyone is moving about the stalls, looking at the different foods, armor, weapons, ammo, everything like that. There are clothing. There's also the cat dealer. And on the right side, over towards like the entertainment section, like the bar, everything like that. Not as many people as there were during the night. It seems like that section of the town is more for the nightlife, while the other two would be more for daytime. And you do see that inside the, well, not inside, but the general area around the big airship or airplane that was brought down that people turned into pseudo-living quarters. That seems pretty active today.
Okay.
A lot of people are coming in and out. A lot of people just doing whatever in their respective rooms.
Fair enough.
So what would you like to do?
I'd like to snort crack off a hooker's stag titties.
No.
So Chem dealer?
No. Merchant-wise, do I see anyone who looks like they're selling foodstuffs?
There are two different types of merchants selling food.
Okay.
One of them is selling different types of growable crops, and the other one is selling different types of like salvageable stuff like cans and meats.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the guy selling the canned food and the, I assume, like dried meats and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to him first.
Okay.
I'm gonna approach. Hey, how you doing today?
It is a human that is working this stall.
Okay.
It is a human male. He's on kind of the older side.
Okay.
Seeming like early to mid 60s. And short white hair, a single black streak in his hair. He is wearing very big glasses. Not comically big, but big brim.
Yep.
Wearing just general attire of a trader, you do see he does have two pistols at his hip. As you approach, and seemingly anyone that walks by, he's giving them a quick once-over. And you don't even know if he means to do it, because he's just sitting there kind of bored. Anyone who passes, you notice, specifically because of your training, you notice his eyes do a complete once-over, almost in the blink of an eye. Basically seeing, like, is this person a friend?
Okay.
As you approach, he looks up at you, and very briefly, he looks tired, but then he puts on a big smile. Hello, how can I help you?
I'm looking to see if I can buy some food storage. Not storage, rather, but some supplies for food. Myself and a couple of allies who are camping outside the city right now. We need to get a large surplus, or at least as much of a surplus as we can carry back to our settlement.
Okay, well, how large of a surplus are you talking?
We got 2 carts. I describe how big the carts are with a full-size Brahmin and a smaller Brahmin that would be carrying it. How much do you think we could fit onto a cart like that?
Well, I mean, If you bought my whole stall out, you would probably still have some room left. If we went into my storage, then we're probably talking we might need a few more carts, but I could fill you up if you wanted.
Okay. Well, that would, if we could fill up our cart, that'd be fantastic. How much is that going to run us, by chance?
That depends. That depends. Let's see. What kind of food are you really talking here? Because we got the meats, and then we got the canned stuff, and then we got the stuff that we salvage from nearby.
Well, ideally, I would say probably more meats, if only because those are probably fresher than canned food from before the war.
Probably,
So,
yeah.
a lot less people might get ill from eating it, but that, bear in mind, I'm sure you understand, that's not a statement on the quality of the food. It's
Oh
just,
no, the food's garbage. I know it is.
He
So,
looks at you with a smile. Oh, believe me, I wouldn't even eat half of this stuff.
that's fair. But yeah, how much do you think it would run us to get our cart filled up with some dried meats, possibly any other more fresh rations that you have available?
Well, once again, that depends on which kind of meats you want. We got plenty to go through, and I'll take my time with you.
I got some time.
We got the generic Brahmin meats, deer meats, Yaogwai meats if you're into that. A little tough for my taste, but hey,
Okay.
I admit it, I'm getting a little old.
That's fine. I'm thinking just Brahmin meat should be fine. If you don't have enough to fill the cart, if we can get some deer meat, that'll be helpful too.
Well, if you're looking for more entertaining meats, we got some rad roach meats, we got some bug meats. We do have some iguana on a stick if you want it.
I'm thinking the Brahmin meat should be good. Actually, I just realized I'm gonna need some produce to bring back too. So probably only gonna need to fill up half the cart.
Alright, half the cart. And let me guess, you want the freshest stuff we got?
If possible.
When do you need this by?
Well, we're gonna be heading out shortly, so whatever the freshest you have currently would suffice, honestly.
Let's see. So what I could do for you is I could have you buy out my stall. That is a wide variety of meats. If you want just the Brahmin meat, it'll be a little more time, but I can get it to you by today.
Okay.
Which do you want to do?
I'll do the Brahmin meat. So by the end of the day, we'll be able to head out with it. You said.
Oh, probably by like mid to late day. Before
Alright.
the sun starts going down.
All right. Where would you like me to meet you? With the cart, by chance.
Oh, I'll have a few hired hands find you.
All right. Sounds good.
And just for reference, your cart is out front?
It should be out front. There's, like I said, there's a fully grown Brahmin, a smaller Brahmin, and it's kind of two carts, like I said, hitched together. There's a girl with a dog, a younger kid wearing some leather armor, and probably later in the day there's probably going to be a synth hanging out by the cart as well.
Okay. You got a full band of characters with you, don't you?
Yeah, we do.
Alright. So, for now, I'm not going to charge you until we give you the product, let you look it over. But to give you a ballpark range, you're probably looking at maybe 8,000-9,000 caps.
Okay.
Depending on the
half your
quantity, George would be fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, you will presumably be present for it, so.
Yeah. Because, like, if I'm using the aim logic, that is pretty expensive, but we're also talking about bulk. So it really just depends on how much food there actually winds up being. So, like, if George gets there and it's like 4 steaks,
Yeah,
like,
which it probably won't.
no.
3,000 apiece.
Yep.
Uh, well, thank you very much. You said you'll have hired hands come and find me when it comes time. I'm probably not too hard to pick out. I'm one of the probably few ghouls with actual hair on my head.
I've seen some of you with hair, but here, for doing business and a sign of good faith. And he hands you a stick with 3 cubed meats on it.
Thank you. And I take a bite out of one of them as I kind of like salute him and head on and start heading over to the produce stall.
Die instantly.
So, Lucas, you wake up.
Finally awake, I see.
You are
Damn
currently
it.
sitting in a cart,
Oh, God.
handcuffed.
You look over, George is the thief. He's like, yeah, I deserve this.
I tried to steal a horse. I don't know what went wrong.
I tried to get a friend for Biggie.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
You're just walking away now to go to the produce one.
I said I gave him a salute as I turned and started heading for the produce one.
Okay. And you're just gonna eat the whole meat on stick.
I'm just kind of taking taking bites out of it. Yeah, I'm
Again,
munching
you're
on it.
making this real suspect. It's like,
God.
how much of it are you gonna eat? I want to know how much poison you ingest.
I want to know specifically how many bites, how much dosage. I mean, how many bites.
Oh, God. Oh.
Be warned. The last time you guys considered me acting suspect, nothing was wrong.
Yeah. Well, no, there was definitely something wrong, just not what we thought.
Yeah, just a poor old man grieving who you shot and killed.
I am not the one who shot him.
Oh well.
I'm
So-
just saying.
When you walk over to the produce section,
Mhm.
I say section, it's a whole other fucking stall. It does seem a little more popular than the meat stall. So there is a bit of a queue, like 5 people or so,
Okay.
but still enough for you
That's
to
fine.
look around, see what they have.
I'm assuming like the general thoroughfare being potatoes,
Scabados and potatoes.
no, corn, wheat, things like that.
They do have bread. They have
Mhm.
corn.
Right.
They have potatoes. They have potatoes. They have flutatoes, mutatoes,
Yep.
potatoes.
So which one of those gives me an armor boost?
The flutatoes.
Awesome.
Yep. You
They
eat it
do
and you
have-
just become a scorpion. Straight up.
They do have onions and a few other vegetables that you don't seem to recognize.
Okay.
One
Do
of
they
them
have any
is,
apples?
they do not have apples. They do, however,
Good.
have a very long and very yellow thing, so to speak.
Okay.
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 The best way I could describe it is it looks like an oversized carrot, just completely yellow.
Like a parsnip?
Kind of.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting in the queue and looking it over while I'm doing that. Do I see any like leafy green veggies or not?
You do see a big pile of leafy substances.
Okay.
Leafy substance.
That's reassuring.
Oh my god, it's pot.
It's weed.
So there is just a big pile of green leaves sitting there.
Okay.
And there is also, I guess the closest comparison would be a very bright orange radish.
Okay.
Aside from that, you see people coming and going, talking with the merchant, the 5 people ahead of you, talking, making their purchases. And when it gets up to your turn, there is a younger fellow sitting there, also by the by. He seems pretty energetic, like he's going through the motions, like he just took the caps off of the last customer, and almost immediately he puts them down, looks up to you with a big smile. Hey, how are you? What can I get for you?
I'm doing alright. I'm looking to purchase some supplies in bulk, if that's a possibility.
Oh, that depends, friend. What do you want in bulk?
Everything.
Well, some potatoes would be nice. Some potatoes, probably the onions. Not all of them, obviously, but if I could get some onions. And I can describe the cart again and inform that it's going to be half filled with some other products, so I only have so much space. And then the leafy greens over there. What kind of plant is that?
Oh, well, those are from what we've gathered. These are what people usually tend to grow in their gardens that they've made, and we can use these for multitudes of things.
Such as?
Well,
It's
you can
hemp,
use
isn't
them
it?
as garnish if you want. You might be able to make some soup out of it. If you want, you can actually roast it and use it as a wrap,
Okay.
or you can use it as is if you want.
Do you mind if I have a small leaf just to see what it tastes like?
We don't usually do samples, but
I'll
if
give
you're
you a
gonna be
couple
buying
caps
in
for it.
bulk- Well, if you're going to give me a couple caps for it, by all means.
Alright, here's 2 caps for a sample.
And he takes one of the leaves and breaks off a piece of it and hands it to you.
I munch on it.
Okay. Tastes like a leaf.
Tastes like a leaf. Is it like spinach or is it like cabbage or lettuce?
Tastes like a leaf.
Okay.
It's literally just a leaf.
Literally
isn't it?
just leaves, isn't it?
Yep. Wait! Oh my god, I remember!
What is it, Michael?
It is just leaves! He bullshitted you perfectly. He doesn't know where they came from, they're just on his table. George already encountered this guy.
God damn.
So they taste
Alright.
like leaves.
Alright.
They're literally
You got me.
just leaves.
I looked at the kid. He got me. That's fair. I'm gonna avoid those.
Alright, you're lost. They seem to be pretty popular these days.
Oh my god!
So-
I can't believe you remembered that.
So, like I said, potatoes, onions. I think just mostly those. Also, if we could get some loaves of bread going, that'd be fantastic.
Alright, well, we don't have too much of the bread. We can definitely accommodate you for the potatoes, and onions.
Okay.
It's more or less the bread is kind of in limited quantity.
Then
How
hold
much
on to
bread
it
would
for
you
the
want?
settlement. Hold on to the bread for the New Ghouls Alliance then.
Oh, we make more every day. It's just if you're going to be wanting it today, we only have a few.
We'll be alright. You said he has wheat too, right?
He does.
Instead of getting the bread by the bread already made, would it be alright if I just bought a bulk of the wheat instead?
That's alright. That would work.
Alright. So I guess equal 4 parts for each of those to fill the remaining space on the cart.
Okay, and you wanted to just fill up the other half of the cart that's not used by the meat?
Yes.
Okay. So let's see. For all of that, and he starts tapping his finger to his chin. Okay, for all of that, let's see. Potatoes. That would run you about 12,000 caps.
Alright.
Yeah. That's gonna be a problem. And wait, no. Well, Lucas also had money.
Alright. Fine.
All right, so you're good with 12,000 caps. I'll send some guys to come take in bulk and bring it to your cart. Where would your cart be?
It should be right outside in the camp. This girl with the dog, kid wearing some leather armor, two Brahmin, one larger, one smaller, and the cart is kind of segmented in two pieces.
Biggie
There's
is my
also
child.
There's also might be a synth there, wearing some heavy armor with a big ol' arm on his right side. I'm talking big. He's got basically a power armor arm attached to him.
Alright.
So
Shouldn't be that hard to miss. So we'll take that 12,000 now, and we'll get that stuff to you. All right?
all right, sounds good.
He's already punked you once.
I don't care.
It's not
Okay.
his money.
All right.
And then I'm just waiting around. So
Snorting weed on the down low.
I guess I'll wait until I see the guys coming out, and I'll just kind of walk with them.
Okay. At this point, you do see George.
Mm.
When you get all of the suitcases downstairs, and Mom has packed pretty much everything in those 5 suitcases,
Mm.
it seems like you've had to do this before.
Mm.
He's gotten everything he needed in those 5 suitcases. As he walks downstairs and sees all 5 of them lined up, he looks over to you. Oh, so you're gonna be a dear and carry these for me, right?
Mm. Kinda like nods, sort of dejectedly.
You should get some hiking clip attachments on your fucking power armor arm.
You should.
It would literally just be a hiking clip that you hook onto a weird, like, offshoot of it.
Oh my god.
Mom walks past you, gives you a pat on the back. Oh, that's my boy, and opens the door and starts walking.
George just sighs to himself. These people will be the death of me. But not soon enough.
I guess before we actually head out, one last thing I would probably be looking for is if there were any like general merchants that seem like they're kitted out for travel.
Out of all of the merchants, there appear to be only 2 of them that really seem like they're the traveling type.
Mm-hmm.
That also depends on how you define traveling type.
I'm imagining they've got guards. They've got a decently sized cart that has most of their wares on it.
And one of them.
Okay.
Alright then. It's Hannah.
Dealer.
No, not the hat dealer. I'm looking for an actual like traveling merchant.
The one that is the traveling merchant, who does have guards, she's sitting there and she has 3 guards.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hannah.
I already said that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And she seems to be the one that is selling general scrap.
Okay.
There are lots of pieces of different metals, different rocks, piles of wood, and she has a big cart with her.
Okay.
One of the guards is standing next to her as she's selling things. The other 2 are presumably guarding the cart because they're standing next to it and just eyeballing everyone.
Mm-hmm.
From the looks of it, it looks like she just, mainly in this town, is just buying scrap as opposed to selling anything. But
Okay.
occasionally she does sell some bundles of wood to people, but
Okay.
none of the metals.
Anna.
Wait, I thought
It's
he
not
said
Hannah.
it wasn't Hannah.
It's not Hannah. Oh, I thought it... Okay, never
It
mind.
was a joke.
No, it's not
Oh,
Hannah.
I didn't get that. My apologies. Hey, how's it going?
When you come up to her, she is not on the young side, but not on the old side, like late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
And she is human, but she has a left eye patch covering her eye, and the left side of her is just a big robotic arm.
Okay.
Not big, but noticeable.
Mhm.
And she looks up at you with a smile, and the guard is just watching you over. Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing all right. Odd question. Would you by chance have things for farming equipment? Not necessarily the equipment, but more so like packets of seeds or stuff like that.
Packets of seeds. Well, I mean, I'm sure I could come up with something for you, but mainly we just buy and sell scrap metals.
Okay. Well, that could also be some pretty great help for us. Me and a couple of friends outside are traveling around, and we've got a settlement that we run. Where is it? Is it south of us?
It is from where you are, south-ish.
Yeah. We've got a settlement about a little ways southeast of where we are now. How long? 3 days travel. Would you by chance be looking for another stop on your route?
She looks both taken aback and surprised at your question. Oh, that's the first time anyone's asked me about that, but I mean, I guess for the right price I could move out early.
Oh no, it doesn't need to be like as soon as possible. I'll give you some caps to get some supplies, but yeah, if you'd be willing to add Shackleton onto your route, I'd be more than happy to assist in some fashion.
Shackleton? I've never heard of that settlement.
It's the reformation of Freedom's Hill.
And she looks a bit downcast.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember going to Freedom's Hill a few times. Nice place, nice people, but shame what happened to it.
Hmm.
I can't really forgive the Brotherhood for doing that.
Alright, well, I'm not going to say the Brotherhood are a stellar group. What I can say is the leader of that sect isn't really an issue anymore.
She looks at you for a brief second with hostility, then curiosity. What do you mean?
Do you remember Timothy Credence, Mayor Credence? He's running the gig over there pretty much.
Oh, he's the mayor again?
Not the mayor, but he's running our defenses.
Tell her that he violently killed the leader of the Brotherhood and wrested control. That will make her feel better. Well, maybe not better, but
I'm sure you're aware of how large a man he is, right?
He is pretty big.
He's what happened to the previous leader of that sect of the Brotherhood.
So, okay, they attacked and then he defended himself.
Yes.
Why did they move? Just because it got destroyed?
Yeah, the old town got glassed, so we moved our little operation a little ways away.
Okay. What kind of defenses does this town have?
Flat cannons, vertibirds.
She looks at you as if you have 3 heads. You're telling me a new settlement has flak cannons?
Mhm.
How?
We took the airship.
She leans in a little closer. How?
Credence.
Yes, he is a big man, but I don't think he can take over an entire airship by himself.
Why would I be saying this quietly if I were trying to get attention?
She rubs the bridge of her nose and seems to be contemplating things to herself. Then she looks up at you. Okay. So, the Brotherhood is no more, and you've taken their airship. And you made that the settlement?
Airship is above the settlement. The actual settlement is over at its base. As in, it's
The airship for?
research development, housing the battalions of soldiers we now have.
You are really doing everything in your power not to explicitly say the thing that you are gonna have to say at some point.
What am I going to have to say, Michael?
That James is running the Brotherhood sect now.
He's not, though.
Yes, he is. Or not James, Timothy.
Yeah.
I meant Timothy.
No, James is the one running it.
He's not, though.
Whatever the
Look,
case.
he's the elder.
Again, I'm not... We've got defenses. We've got a settlement, but we're in need of merchants who are willing to add us to their route. Again, I'm not trying to make a big scene here. That's why I'm whispering.
Oh my god.
Morbid curiosity aside, I will make you a deal.
What's your deal?
We travel with you back to the settlement, because as much as I would love to sing the praises of these fine gentlemen, and she lightly pats the chest of the man right next to her, but I don't know if we could make a 3 days journey with a lot of supplies with just the 4 of us.
We've got some people to help you along the way.
All right.
We're all battle hardened.
Well, Mr. Battle Hardened, then when are we leaving?
How soon? Well, we're planning on leaving either tonight or early in the morning. Preferably tonight.
Ah, so close early then. Got it.
How
Very
many
well.
caps would you like from me to go towards prepping for the journey for yourself?
For this, because you're already being our escort, and I do want you to understand that these 3 men, their job is to protect my stuff and then me. So, preferably me first, but I may have mixed my words when signing them up. But you know how it is with mercenaries. So, because you're escorting us and my curiosity is getting the better of me with this whole airship business, I would say we can do this one for free.
Okay.
Just make sure me and my men get there safe and sound.
We'll do our damnedest. Do you have a name?
Yes, I'm Sarah. And she holds out her hand.
Pleasure, Lucas, and I shake her hand.
That's a weird first name.
Is it?
Pleasure. I'm kidding.
I like the silence. Immediately, I didn't give you it. I didn't give you the satisfaction.
You were denying me my victory.
All right. So I will say at this point, you do see Mom walking, not towards you, but towards the entrance.
And a very, very grouchy George. Somewhere a fair ways behind her, I assume. Him.
Carrying the suitcases one by one.
Yep.
Okay. So, as Mom passes you, he gives you a pat on the shoulder. All right, none of that now. You can do some flirting later, but for right now, you need to go help George with my bag.
Please.
That's the robot that's going to be traveling with us, by the way. And I point towards George.
I'm assuming George notices this.
You are. You specifically said you were a ways away.
Okay, this is true. Can George at least see that Lucas is talking to someone?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, George just kind of does a dejected wave and gets closer.
Alright. I kind of give Sarah a salute. Alright. I describe the cart, who's around it, and say I'll see them at dusk. Right?
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take, right? And as I passed George, I was like, how many more bags are there?
There are 4.
Why did you only how many were there?
I just said, no, 5. There were 5.
Okay. You got 2 arms. Why are you carrying 1?
Because they're heavy.
Okay. Even for your power armor arm? Are you carrying it in your left arm, Michael? Tell me this.
John, would you allow me to retroactively have him be carrying 2?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, this dialogue has occurred. Why are you only carrying 1, George?
I don't know anymore.
Alright. You better, when you get your ass back to that building, you better be carrying 2 yourself.
Fine.
Alright. And I head on off.
Who's your friend?
We're going to be escorting her and her mercenaries and her cart to Shackleton. Also, we have a large surplus of food that's going to be coming with us.
Good.
Also, here's your caps back, and I give him 5,245 caps.
Alright. George kind of puts down the suitcase for the moment and sort of extends his hand to Sarah. Nice to meet you. I'm George.
Well, like he said, I'm Sarah.
I will point out the logo on George's chest at the moment.
Okay.
Which I'm assuming you remember what it is.
Yeah, it's the Brotherhood symbol. She doesn't
Yeah.
have too much of a reaction to it.
Okay. So, I'm assuming he told you about our settlement?
Yes, a little bit, and the curiosity has gotten the better of me, so... Well, we'll go check it out.
Do you know the situation?
Oh yeah, see it for me.
Alright. Kind of nods to Lucas and then picks up his suitcase and starts walking again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, should probably mention, technically the mayor. Don't worry too much about that.
She looks at you, kind of confused, and then looks over to Lucas. Wait, but questions for another day, Sarah. Questions for another day.
What's the confusion, friend?
I thought Timothy was the mayor.
No, he's too busy being... Well, he's not really the elder, but he may as well be. He's running the Brotherhood now.
Her head turns almost mechanically to Lucas. Her facial expression doesn't change from a bright and peppy smile, but her head
Hmm.
moves very slowly.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't lie.
You specifically omitted the truth.
She's just staring at you.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume he didn't tell you the situation then.
Well, what he told me was that Timothy, big man as he is, he single-handedly, or at least to my knowledge, single-handedly, but he never said single-handedly, I admit, but he's big, I expect a lot out of him.
That's
But
fair.
he took down the leader of the Brotherhood, elder, as it were,
This is true.
and took over the airship.
This is true, technically. So, little story time. Timothy was ex-Brotherhood. He left for personal reasons. And, well, I'm assuming you know enough about Freedom's Hill to know he's a fairly upstanding individual.
Yes, he hasn't done wrong by anyone in that town. He was a good
No.
mayor.
So, as it turns out, a lot of the members of that sect still kind of preferred him over the woman who ran it before him. So, when all was said and done, they just kind of bowed to him.
So you forgive them for, and I quote, glassing Freedom's Hill.
Oh, absolutely not. But I'd rather have powerful friends than powerful enemies. And he kind of doesn't soften his expression, but there is a hint of sadness in his expression. I've done some horrible things in the name of following orders. I assume anyone who's worked in any sort of military has. If they're willing to try and protect what's left of the people of Freedom's Hill, I'm willing to give them a chance. Besides which, the woman who gave the order, and he smiles widely, oh, she's super dead.
She looks back over at Lucas. Yeah, so I feel like that wasn't a solo job for him, huh?
Oh. George is smiling wider. She gave me very personal reasons. Though, I will admit, Timothy had better justification. He wasn't taking that kill from me.
She looks over at Lucas and leads in a little bit. So, what kind of settlement is this again?
One forged on blood.
What?
I believe I was pretty clear.
Michael.
I'll say that George didn't say that. He's being upfront. We're not gonna make friends by not being truthful.
You're also not going to make friends by smiling maniacally after telling this woman you're the mayor that you took pleasure in killing someone.
I mean, she seems to have implied that she would be totally okay with that person being killed for their actions.
But Timothy.
Okay. In all fairness, Timothy did more damage than I did. I just put a bullet in her. He nearly choked her to death, which, again, absolutely justified.
I'm sorry, that statement by itself is just really funny.
Okay. Well,
Do you know Vlad?
who, the previous town guard? Head guard of the town? Yes.
She did some messed up things to the poor kid. He's alive, but I'll never forget that glassy look in his eyes. They have these weird helmets they put on people, and it made them do what they told them to. There was something about her, and he kind of stuttered, or not stuttered, but he kind of pauses. I don't know if you really want to even know all this crap. It's long and complicated.
She looks at
Long.
you with a smile. Yeah, no, I really wouldn't. So,
Long story short, she wasn't really Brotherhood. And we'll leave it at that. We don't know what she was. But none of them knew what her deal was either.
okay. Against my better judgment, I am still curious, so I will still travel with you. Just don't kill us in our sleep, okay?
Promise. And he does offer his hand to shake. Sorry for being so forward and terrifying.
She looks down at your hand and apprehensively shakes your hand. Well, we start somewhere, don't we?
I prefer to just let all the crazy fly early.
Well, little tip. Maybe don't leave with that next time.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, I'll close up my stall a little later on, and I'll what? Up front? The cart inside?
Yep, we're meeting by the cart. You'll recognize it by the Brahmin with dwarfism.
How is that an effective Brahmin?
It isn't. However, I'm quite fond of it.
Do real well, Michael.
It's cute.
She sighs to herself, and it looks like she's resigned herself. She puts her face in her hands and lets out a very audible sigh.
Trust me, you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, it's cute. It's cute. He looks at Lucas. It's cute, right? I'm not the only one.
I've left. I'm nowhere near you.
He apparently did not register that Lucas was not still there. And he kind of like turns to say it and then is like, oh, he's fine.
She looks up at you with a very tired smile.
That's fair.
So, we'll meet you later tonight. Okay?
Cool. Yep, sorry, I'll leave you alone. I'm carrying these suitcases now. And he picks up his suitcase and starts walking.
You do hear as you're walking away, the man next to her lean down and not really whisper, more of just say to her, "What have you gotten us into?" And you hear from her, face still in her hands, "I don't know."
George is pleased with himself. As always.
Nancy. You with your roach hat.
Yes.
Papa Roach. Papa Roach.
Not cutting his life.
No, we're doing that
Not
for
his
him.
last resort. You do see that as you're sitting on the cart watching both Vlad and the Stalker, Stalker taking up a good portion of the cart, honestly.
I'm debating if we should have mentioned that, and I feel like the answer is no.
I mean, logically, Lucas would have only given them the information for how much space we had.
That is fine. It was mostly the Brotherhood thing that George felt should have been brought up. Everything else you did fine on. He's just like, it's gonna come up at some point.
Yeah, and when it would come up, we would go to Credence, bring him down, and he can deal with it.
You see, George likes to confront his problems directly, rather than leave it to someone else.
So, Nancy, you do see... Yes, you have met Mom.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you do see Mom in his full lab coat walking over to you.
Hey, Mom. And she waves.
He waves back to her. Oh, how you doing, darling?
I'm doing good. Do you like my new hat? And she kind of like plays with it a little bit.
Mom looks up at it, visibly grimaces. No, you're not wearing that. It's so
Aw.
garish.
It's great. I love it. I know he's not there to say that. It's just like wherever he is, he's thinking about how much he loves that roach hat. But not on him. Never on him.
Nancy takes off the hat and goes, "Oh, do you like my new haircut?" And she kind of plays with her hair a little bit.
Oh, darling.
He looks. He gives it a once over. He does actively walk around the cart looking at your hair. We could have done better, but for what it is, it's okay. Still got some cute in you.
Aw, thank you.
Not much, but
Cut it closer or let it grow out?
Oh, girl, I think you should have let it grow out a little longer.
Okay. I'll let it grow out a little longer.
I like how we've all just accepted Mom as part of our lives. Just immediately, like there was no question.
I was the one who suggested we adopt Mom, and I'm very proud of this.
Yeah, I feel like as much as I also know I will regret it in the long run, yeah.
There's a
Mom
reason
is
we
best
call
mom.
Mom.
Yeah. I assumed.
So are you ready to go?
Oh, well, I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting for the boys to bring me my bags.
Meanwhile, god damn it.
Not my fault.
I
Nancy
will
kind
say,
of chuckles. Oh, sorry.
I will say at this point, George and Lucas, for the sake of posterity, are both coming out of the entrance. Lucas carrying 2 suitcases, George carrying 1.
Nice, nice. Now, are we leaving today? Did they say?
Yes.
Well, they did say that we were going to be leaving today. I don't know when, but I'm ready to go.
Are they bringing food back? Because I'm kind of hungry.
Oh, I don't know. Are you telling me that they didn't feed you?
Jesus
And
Christ.
Nancy
I didn't
kinda
real-
plays up the sympathy card and goes, "No."
I didn't realize it was my responsibility to feed this adult human.
Mom gives Nancy a big hug. Oh, no. You give me one moment, darling. I'll get them some. They will get you some food.
Okay.
What
George-
the fuck are we talking about?
George pulls the roach off the hat and hands it to him. Bone apple tea.
No, no.
As you are getting closer to the cart, you do see Mom give Nancy a hug, turn around, and is just glaring at you, hands on his hips, waiting for you to get closer.
What?
Oh god, what
What
have
did I
I
do?
done? It's just like, what have we done? What have we done?
I am saying it is 1000% canon that both of you at the same time said, "What did we do?"
And then George, moments after, grabbed Lucas by the collar. What did we do?
Hey, chill.
Oh
What?
my God.
What happened?
Mom walks up to you, full of purpose.
Mm.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The day of reckoning has come. They said this day would arrive.
And
Repent,
you boys
ye
wanna tell
sinners!
me why she hasn't been fed today?
Because she hasn't eaten from the stores.
Oh my God.
And you didn't cook her nothing?
We're on the move.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
We're on
God.
the move. Me and George were in town doing business. For instance, Thank you, George. For instance,
What do you mean?
we're gonna be getting a large shipment of dried meats and produce shortly.
Alright, well, so shortly means within the next few minutes, or is it going to take longer for her to starve herself to death?
She's not gonna starve.
And you know that how?
I've gone very long treks without eating. She's fine.
Sweetie, you're a ghoul.
I was at one point human.
Boy, if we're competing about length of time between feedings, I have already won this.
He looks between the two of you and gives a sigh. Boys, I just no hosts. You know that?
I never claimed to be.
I did. I'll take responsibility.
You bastard.
Alright, Nancy, let's go get your food.
I'm not leaving the cart.
Well, then you're being indignant. I
I'm
can't
running
help
in-
you if you.
George,
I can't help you if you
George.
won't have your.
George, I'm not seeing the mayor again. I'm not risking it. Never. No. Nada.
Oh, but
George
he seemed
is
like
just
such a nice
what do you
guy.
mean seeing the Oh. And the images
Yeah,
of last
don't you
night
remember
flashed
Mrs.
before
Nesbit?
his eyes. His images of the previous night flashed before his eyes, like, ow. Oh. I remember now. And he hangs his head slightly in shame.
Get me food. I will do this. I just can't leave the cart.
I can't leave. Oh my god. Alright. So,
We should be getting our food supply shortly.
Sweet.
Nancy, are you actually, like, starving?
My tummy is a bit rumbly.
Nancy?
Mom turns immediately to George and gives you a light but firm slap on the cheek. Do you hear that? Her tummy is a rumbling. You go get her some food right now.
Hold on. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up.
I love this so fucking much.
What did I do to deserve this? Secretly, George was a tax evader, and this is his eternal punishment.
Great, we're out of rations. Wait, hold the fuck up. Nancy, you have sandwiches.
No, I don't.
The fuck you don't.
He's telepathically observing your inventory.
Do I have fucking sandwiches? I'll be honest, if I had remembered I had sandwiches, I probably wouldn't have done all this.
Oh my god. George.
It's happened.
George stares at Nancy.
I do have 2 sandwiches.
Mhm.
You hear that, girlfriend?
That was my bad. I apologize. I completely forgot.
Oh, God.
Mom, I'm sorry. I understand if you're disappointed in your little girl.
What?
Mom looks over to you. Oh, you think you're my little girl? No. You're gonna earn that title one.
Gotcha. Understood.
And that means no lion foods right now, alright?
Oh my god. George, however, is my child. I will defend him always. Oh my god.
He was about to kill you 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, what
Nancy's
mother
real
doesn't
eating
contemplate it?
disorder.
Doesn't contemplate murdering their children every 10 minutes.
So Mom turns back to you, George,
Mm.
and looks at you a bit impatiently.
Alright, I'm going.
And with a slight nod, turns back to Nancy. Alright, so what do we got to do for fun around here?
You could poke the dead nightmare.
Oh, this
But
is my
please
dog.
don't.
Truffles. Do you like dogs?
Well, I mean, they're a bit of an acquired taste, but you know, I get used to it.
Truffles is very well trained, aren't you, Truffles?
Oh God, Marina, now. You don't understand.
Mom looks down at Truffles. Oh, you meant a live dog. Oh, that's smart, Brandon.
Wait, what other kind of dog?
Dog meat is a somewhat acceptable food in the wasteland. Not exactly the most acceptable, admittedly. Like, I don't ever think you really see anyone on the up and up consuming dog meat, but still,
And here
like,
I
it's
thought,
it.
here I thought, dog was another sexual innuendo for
Oh,
something.
please not. Please no.
No more.
No, it's
I
Red
don't-
Rocket.
I don't need to hear about furries in the post-apocalypse. I
remember
really
what
don't.
a bear is.
Oh, you poor soul.
I'm learning.
Regrettably.
Mhm.
I wish I wasn't.
But yeah, this is Truffles. She hands Mom a stick. If you throw it, he'll bring it back to you.
And if you speak the Eldritch truth to him, he will remind you of your true purpose. He yells, snip, yell, snip after snip.
Little snip.
Squeezy Jip.
Don't know what's
Squeezy
happening.
dip.
Why are we saying squeaky dip? Oh,
Squeeze the nip.
God.
Mom takes the
Please,
stick
no.
and looks at it.
And whacks him square in the face.
Alright, so what other tricks does he know?
Truffles, play dead.
Truffle just slits his own throat.
Black ooze seeps out.
His body just vanishes and he just reappears.
Oh dear God.
Truffles does just go stiff and falls over. Okay, impressive. What else?
Ooh. How about this one? Truffles. And she gestures for him to stand up. Bang, bang.
Doesn't stand up.
Truffles.
Truffles, please.
Truffles.
Truffle's not in front of Mom.
Jesus Christ.
Truffles up.
Truffle stays down. Clearly breathing, but not moving.
She takes out
Good.
a paper sandwich. Truffles. Sit.
Oh my God.
Truffles looks up at the sandwich and gets up and sits.
There we go.
Sandwich.
Now, bang, bang. And she pretends to shoot Truffles.
Is this a thing? Troubles pulls out a Tommy gun. Not today.
Truffles just stares at you.
Come on. Bang, bang.
Still staring at you.
She holds up the piece of the food. Bang, bang.
The tail starts wagging.
Alright. She gives him the food. Usually he can pretend like he got shot or something, which is basically play dead but more dramatic.
It appears your dog's favorite trick is beg for food.
Mom looks at you a bit concerned. So, do you want to tell me why you prefer tricks that are your dog dying?
Well,
He's got a point.
What?
yeah, I've taught my dog 7 different ways to fake its own death. Sounds like a tutorial. How to teach your dog to fake its own death with these 7 easy tricks. Step 1, teach it how to fire a revolver.
She looks to Mom. Well, if we're being honest, I may or may not be a sociopath.
Are you kidding me?
You two are awful at this.
Somewhere, even George is just like, I'm assuming he's left by now.
Oh yeah, you're both getting the bags. You've only got one trip left.
I will say George takes 2 bags this time.
Cool. Lucas ain't carrying shit.
Yeah,
You're
good.
carrying
I mean,
one.
they're.
No,
Yeah, I
I'm
was gonna say.
Never mind.
not. No, I'm not.
Yep,
Oh,
there
you're
are only
right.
5.
Okay, alright.
So, Mom looks at you, and with a very hearty sigh, okay, no you're not, and you're gonna stop saying that.
Okay.
Alright? So, what are
Okay.
you?
I'm a Nancy.
Alright.
Which ironically is slang for coward. But we'll just gloss over that.
So, who else do we have in your little party of yours?
We have a George. Oh, this is Vlad. And she points to sleepy Vlad. He's asleep right now. But that's Vlad.
Specifically passed out from terror.
He looks down at Vlad a little annoyed, and you just let him sleep the day away?
No. He kind of fainted.
What do you mean he kind of fainted?
Well, I showed him that George put this hat on his head, and then he fainted.
Uh-huh. So, let me get this straight.
Mm.
George put a hat on him, and he fainted.
George put a hat on him. He woke up because he had a nightmare about roaches telling him not to look up.
And then
Took off
realized
the
he had a
hat.
roach on his head.
And showed him he had a roach on his head the whole time. And when he realized that, his eyes rolled back and he fainted. I know.
Yes. Apparently I need to teach George a real lesson.
I don't think that's entirely necessary.
And
Joke's
I
on
don't
you, I
believe-
can't feel pain.
And I don't believe that what George did was right.
This is fair.
Okay.
George will not argue with that point. It was a mean joke.
So, who else is in your party?
That's Oleg.
Oleg is not here.
The nothing. Points at the points at the butt imprint he left in the cart, which is notably substantial.
We usually. Oh, this is Tom Hanks, and that's
In-
Biggie Smalls.
Mom looks at the Brahmin. Looks at Tom Hanks. Okay. So. Okay. Looks down at Biggie Smalls.
He is my child. I will love him always.
And he stares at Biggie
This
for
is
an
fair.
awkwardly long time.
Does Biggie respond? That is exactly the sound I want Biggie to make. Just,
And then Mom looks back over to you. Okay. So, in all seriousness, any one of you hurts that tiny Brahmin, you will have hell to pay. Okay?
Biggie claims another worshiper.
It's also an eldritch god.
Someone's
Except,
been doing it wrong all along.
yeah. Biggie is like a benevolent god. Truffles is a trickster god. Biggie is just kind of like,
I exist.
yeah, basically.
I'm
Mo
here.
bitches.
Adore me.
Yeah, exactly.
Adore me, peasants. Yes.
Mo.
Moo.
Oh my god, I love it so much. I'm so happy that Biggie exists. Oh, fuck god.
So, I will say, after a while, George and Lucas, you do come back to the cart. Suitcases all in the cart. I will leave it up to you where you put those suitcases. Then the shipment of produce comes. There are specifically 5 not big crates, but enough to
Decently
where
sized.
it would be. It would take George's full strength to lift it
Okay. Like each crate?
individually. Yes.
Okay.
There are 3 people carrying the crates. 5 crates. There are potatoes, onions, and 2 boxes of wheat.
Cool. I'm going to add those to our Brahmin inventory.
And I will say, it does take up a good portion of the cart.
Right?
So, not exactly half, like a little under half, but that's also still half. The other half is just now where the stalker is and where you would presumably sit.
Mm.
And you do have another shipment coming.
Okay.
And I figured Lucas would have, made that apparent that how much space we did have.
You said specifically half the cart.
Mm.
I asked you multiple times per vendor, and you said half the cart.
Okay.
So
Mm.
you haven't paid for the meat shipment yet.
Mm-hmm.
If when it comes you want to return some, you can. Or
Has the-
alternatively, everyone can walk.
I mean, Lucas doesn't have a problem walking. I know
Neither-
George don't.
No.
If Nancy and Vlad really need to, and probably Mom, they could sit on top of the crates.
Oh, yeah, don't we have the smaller cart anyway?
No, you have the 2 carts that you mushed into one.
Oh, yeah.
For,
Okay.
for specifically this journey.
Mm. Okay.
I can walk.
And I would walk 500 miles.
So if you want, when the meat shipments comes, just say you don't want something.
Mm.
If you want to leave room for sitting space.
I mean, again, Lucas is quite comfortable marching.
Yep, I'll leave that up to you. I will say, after a while, when you get the shipment on the cart of the produce, Oleg comes walking out from the forest.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have a shirt on anymore.
Okay.
This has
Rippling
been
man.
presumably torn apart by the death claw that he has slung over his shoulder.
Close, but no cigar.
He went
Yeah.
bear fighting.
Yes, he did.
He does come back with a Yao Guai of medium size on his back.
Hmm.
He does look pretty torn up about it.
Mhm.
He has a few cuts and scratches from it.
Okay.
Yep.
But altogether, he has a very big smile on him.
He's elated with himself. He had fun.
Bless his soul.
No amount of blessing can save that man's soul.
Massive tax evader.
He walks up to the cart with the bear on his back. Friends! I have bear.
I see you got a bear.
Friends,
wonderful.
Bear.
That's wonderful. We're gonna be heading out in a little while. I'm assuming you're
Bear
good to
now,
march.
friends. And Bear. It's just like every time he says like it shows the rest of the party's reaction, and every time it comes back, he's slightly more bear. It's like until it's finally just a bear with a beard. And Bear now. Yes, friends, hello. And Bear.
So yeah, we're gonna be heading out in a little while. We're waiting on a shipment right now.
All right. What will I do with bear?
Well, do you want a knife to carve it up, or even better, I'm assuming, I'm gonna make the assumption that its weight is not doing much in way of tiring you out.
No. I could take at least 3 more bears.
Okay. Well, let's use that energy to carry it along the trek. And then when we'll keep the bear, and then when we rest, when we finally settle down and rest for the evening, we'll feast.
I like your attitude.
May I make a suggestion?
What's your suggestion, Nancy?
Why don't we just get another cart?
I mean,
This
are
is-
there?
She does have a notable point.
That's fair. We probably do need another cart. I doubt we'll be able to find one this late in the day, though.
This is also a good point.
I mean,
Then
yeah,
why
we
not
have.
Leave in the morning.
Huh?
Then why not leave in the morning?
Because we're leaving at night.
Then you do one person that you could also leave in the morning, but you would have preferred the night.
Ask Mom. We told her we were going to be leaving today.
I like how we're
Him.
deferring
Sorry.
to
Mom,
Mom
Yeah,
looks
that's
over
exactly how it sounded.
would
Mom
it be
looks over
okay?
at you.
Would it be okay if we left in the morning so we could all sit down in the car?
He folds his arms as he looks at you. Oh, so I just cleared out my whole store for nothing then.
Told you. We're leaving tonight.
Well, if Mom starts complaining about his, God fucking damn it, feet getting
It's a
sore,
curse.
not my fault.
I don't think Mom's going to start complaining about his feet. Mom's a pretty tough individual, ain't that right?
Well, yeah, my feet aren't gonna hurt. I'm gonna be riding on Biggie.
I don't know. I don't know if Biggie's big enough for that.
I'm fairly certain
Biggie's
Biggie
very
is
small.
I'm assuming Biggie is at least the size of a donkey.
He's the size of a tiny horse.
So yes, he can be ridden.
Probably. All right.
It's-
Get- Can I ask that you give Biggie some breaks every once in a while?
Oh, well, we're obviously gonna be making camp. We gotta eat this bear. But, you know.
I love the disgust.
Alright. Again, we're just waiting on the meat shipment. I'm just gonna keep a lookout to see if this guy's guards are coming out at all.
Okay.
God.
So, for the time being,
Mm-hmm.
I would say a good hour or so passes.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have any conversation, you can.
Mhm.
Vlad does wake up. He does wake up, goes through the general introductions to Mom.
George apologizes for the hat. He says that he actually did kind of think that he would like it.
Vlad looks over to George. Oh, well,
It's the stuff of nightmares. I should have known better.
a whisper for you to hear. You should have known better.
That's fair.
o'clock. No, I can't say that.
It's 5:72.
God, it's six. It's 12 after 6.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. Again, it's actually 12 after 6. Let's go with that. Sure,
Okay.
why not?
So a little longer than an hour. So it's about the time
Oh my
when
God.
the sun is starting to set. You do see the shipment of meats coming out. There are 3 larger crates than the produce, but they are packed full of ramen meat. The meat itself, some of them, one crate of them has fat on it. One crate of them has.
Okay.
Mm.
The men of the town, so to speak.
Mm.
Some of them are ghouls, some of them are whatever the hell you want to do with it.
Okay. So I look at the cart. I'm assuming these crates are going to fill the entire rest of the cart.
It's gonna leave a little space, but yeah.
Okay.
With the portion that we would need to tend to ourselves,
Okay.
if
do
we're
I see
going to
Sarah
handle
at all? While Sarah's guards come out.
Oh yeah, Sarah probably has a.
All right.
Can we get those first 2 crates onto the cart now?
For this here rug, right?
When do we have?
A tarp, but it's not a tarp.
Sure.
Effect on the stuff.
This is fair. George kind of picks it. I'm gonna say. As he goes to move it. I don't want to damage this thing. It's some kind of weird robot. We're gonna do an autopsy on it. Probably mess that up if, it gets crushed by 7 tons of food. Put it on the cart.
You could put it on top of the produce crates.
You could.
There is going to be a space open. If you put the stalker's body there, that would mean no one can sit on the cart. But it won't get damaged.
Could George just carry it?
Good, yeah. You want to keep it hidden in the.
He's gonna put the covering on it just for he personally believes they're probably tracking the party.
Cart for now. Have Sarah's guards gotten over here?
At this point, I will. Is quite big.
Okay.
Pulled by. Her cart has a pretty sizable heap of. So there is enough room for 1 crate.
But her party won't be able to sit in the cart, though.
Yes.
Alright, I mean, again, we could just...
Whatever you want to do.
George?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, so...
Sure.
So, yeah. I decide, after I assume I conversed with the guards to find out how much space they had.
One talking to you previously looks over to you. Alright, so now just agreed upon. Okay.
Yeah, I decided I was just going to deduct 20,000 total. So.
And 8,000, they give you a little nod and go back into the town. Two of them kind of look. You don't know if they should stay in the town or not because it's getting close to nighttime. But otherwise, they make their ways off. Full cards, and the man with her looks over the party of everyone. Okay, so this is everyone, and she points to everyone.
There's going to be, I think, 3 or 4 more that are going to meet up with us on our way out of town. 4. In defending us.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask. So,
Alright.
we are ready.
Alright. George, you head up to the front of the Brahmin, you take the reins, lead him on. A driver?
A driver and 1 passenger.
Oh.
But I can.
Alright. Let's head, I say, until like 1:30, 2 o'clock. If we can go further, obviously go further.
Sarah sounds a little apprehensive. I
Not
thought
the
we'd
whole
go
way.
a ways away and then make camp for a while.
I'd be fine.
10:30.
Well, we can go for a while longer. No, when the moon is at its highest, that'll be fine.
Alright, sounds good. Lead on, George. And, I start marching along. God damn it.
Mom's side in defeat, and is
Okay.
choosing to walk next to Biggie.
Okay. I
George
assume
kind of
constantly,
walks
like,
up.
petting one of Biggie's 2 heads and just alternating.
George kind of walks up beside.
Them and lead them by the reins
Mm,
perpetually.
yeah,
Alright, so that's what you're gonna
yeah. might as-
do.
So yeah, George just kind of looks at Mom. It's like, he's an adorable little shit, isn't he?
You will not speak to him like that, alright?
Okay,
He's
sorry.
adorable.
Relatively apathetic.
That's fine.
So you're just gonna travel for until about midnight.
Hmm.
Fair.
Sometimes Sarah's guards would get a little jumpy, mainly because it's nighttime,
Hmm.
and they would all in all, with the amount of people that there are, you have made some progress, but not nearly as much as you would have wanted to.
Yeah.
Mm,
'Cause a
that's
lot
fair.
of people, a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So it's probably going to be.
Mm.
Okay.
So they are slowing you down a little bit, but again, due to the size of the party, a lot of the creatures that would have caused you problems are not causing you problems.
Probably doesn't help that Oleg is carrying basically an apex predator on his back.
So midnight does roll around,
Hmm.
and one more thing on the journey. On the journey,
Is gonna kind of watch the rest of the new members of the group to see if they catch on to this.
Mom does not.
Aware that this person exists.
Yep.
Alright. So, when midnight rolls around to the whole group, alright, so moon is pretty hot. Laugh from Oleg. We eat bear now!
We need to get a.
He just starts ripping it apart with his bare hands. With his bare hands.
How's that sound, Oleg?
Wonderful!
Instantly.
As you do hand him the knife, puny knife, but aside from that, he's doing a relatively good job carving the bear.
Yep.
Not a lot is going to waste.
I have two people wearing large animal onesies.
He's gonna be a big old Viking man.
Yeah. George just kind of is silently resigned to what's happening.
He's a huntsman. This is what Vlad and Nancy and I guess George, if they can get some more like firewood and kindling.
I'm gonna say Nancy secures.
And George, you're gonna go find some kindling yourself.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Okay. Sarah does come up to you, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
You as well, George.
Mm.
So, wood from our piles to keep it going for the night.
Sounds
Right.
like a plan.
Lucas turned away from this. His eyes like dart up, and he's just like.
Spreading themselves out a little to try and cover the whole camp, but still stay close enough to Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Oleg is still going to town on that bear.
Unsurprisingly.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah herself is helping with other things from her scrap pile. Contain the fire pit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Vlad and Nancy.
Yeah. I'll be back in just a moment while we're doing this.
Alright.
So, Nancy, you're just going to find kindling.
Wood stuff to make fire with. You know how to make a fire, right?
I made a fire, just lit a log on fire.
Yeah, that's basically what we're doing, but we're, getting kindling, like twigs and stuff to help feed the fire.
Okay. Do that.
Yeah, we can do that.
So, you do spend a good amount of time getting some dry leaves, sticks, some bark as needed. So you do spend about 5-10 minutes out in the woods with Vlad. Any conversation?
How about them crafts?
Actually, so did you have any other dreams?
What do you mean?
After you mentioned like the roaches and stuff. Did you dream of anything else?
Oh, well, seems a bit hesitant to say anything. Not much. Not really dream about anything.
That's fair. I'm just wondering if you had nightmares or anything. Seems like a lot of us have.
Seems to stiffen a little at the word nightmare. Very briefly, to try and make you not notice, but you do. Well, I don't really get nightmares that much.
That's good, I guess. I wish I didn't get as many as I did. But, I'm glad you don't get that many.
Mind me asking, what nightmares do you have?
Mostly nightmares about my sister and my family. And I don't know why, but thunderstorms. I'm not afraid of thunderstorms, but like in my nightmares they're worse. That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Some things are scary.
I'm not really afraid of lightning or anything, but in my dreams they're like more intense, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah. How about you? If you don't mind me asking.
Oh, about nightmares.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's just the normal things like a lot of uncertainty about what to do with my current family situation.
I would imagine.
But aside from that, I mean, I've really made a good friend in the dreams, so that helps.
Hey, that's cool. What's your friend like? And Nancy is very suspicious of this, but isn't exactly showing it. She's just kind of playing it off, like, "Oh yeah, that's cool. We're
Good.
friends
What's the
in
name of your
dreams."
monster? I mean, friend.
Oh, well, at first when I saw him, he seemed a little scary, but, over time, I really found that I'm aware that it's a dream. So, that helps.
Yeah, there's comfort in that. Yeah. What
Mm-hmm.
does your friend look like, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, well, again, this is gonna sound a little scary, but he's not. He's fine. He's just, he looks the way he looks.
Yeah. I'm not judging. Again, dreams make things more intense.
He
Mm.
looks like he's completely made out of, like, black leather and black oil. So, he looks like a regular human being, but he doesn't have any hair, no real features I can see. He's just completely black. Like,
That's racist.
really black.
Is he shiny?
Oh, very shiny. He looks wet, almost, but, you know.
Still shiny.
I
Kind of
mean,
glossy.
I
That's
imagine a man made of oil would look shiny.
does he have a name?
No, he hasn't told me a name. I haven't really asked. The only things I can see on him are his eyes and his mouth.
What do they look like?
What, his eyes and mouth?
Yeah.
He's got really white teeth, so it's, kind of obvious to know when he's smiling. He's always smiling, by the way.
Well, at least he brushes.
Some of us have to. And, his eyes are just normal, I guess.
Mm-hmm. No specific color or anything.
No, they're just black. The whites of his eyes are really prominent, but, you know.
What does he do in dreams?
Mostly murders children, normal stuff.
He just talks to me a lot and kind of tells me about what's been going on around me while I'm sleeping.
Oh, what kind of things?
Well, he told me George put a hat on me because he's mean.
Well, I mean, like today, he did say that I should be careful, and then I had that dream about the roaches.
Hmm.
And the roaches told me not not to look up.
And then, yeah.
And then you had the roach hat.
So, you know.
Papa Roach. Just hear George in the distance. Papa
He
Roach.
realizes what he says and looks up at you almost in a panic. Oh, but I'm not afraid of roaches or anything. You know, I can take them.
Oh no, I'm sure you can take them.
Oh my
Actually,
god.
did you know that fear is what makes us braver?
She is correct. Not that Vlad will ever acknowledge that.
That doesn't sound right.
Because the more afraid you are, the more likely you're going to do something you wouldn't usually do to overcome it.
Oh,
Yeah,
well, what are you afraid of?
losing my sister.
Black men made of ink and top hats. Mostly.
Losing you guys. You guys are kind of my new family, so there's that.
What happened to your old family?
Yeah, how's that old family life going for you?
Oh my god.
Great.
He gives you a knowing look. Yeah. It's kind of hard to lose family.
Yeah. I guess we both kind of relate in that regard, huh? Yeah.
But I mean, we are
Sobbing
here for you.
intensifies.
Yeah, we're here for you too, bro. We all got each other. We got George and Lucas. We got each other. We got Truffles. You know,
Snip,
not
snip, snip, snip.
Truffles, not
Or-
now.
what?
Your soul's a formation. Oh my fucking god, I love this joke. I don't remember when it originated, but I love it.
So, you know, I guess we're all just here for each other.
Yeah,
We have a family.
yeah.
I see where you're coming from.
Oh my god.
By the way, if that guy from your dreams ever bothers you or anything, you can always tell us.
I mean, he doesn't bother me.
Okay. Well, if he does,
He told me
just
that
let us know,
he's-
okay?
Well, yeah, but he told me he's visiting you guys too. Like, do you not see him?
You rolled as to whether or not you would see him.
I don't think I've ever actually seen him. I might have known he was there.
Oh,
Remember
George
that
saw him.
time we were both... You were really hot and I was really cold.
yeah.
I think that was him.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. He hasn't really tried to hurt me or anything, so I wouldn't say he's bad.
Hey, Vlad.
Yeah.
She kind of takes off the headband thingy she has that was kind of wrapped around her neck before, and kind of shows off her bruises. He might have hurt me.
He looks at the bruise around your neck. You haven't done this to yourself, have you?
No. No, I did not.
Well, how did that happen?
I don't quite understand it myself, but I remember somebody calling for help in the woods. I took George with me because I was afraid it might be something like a trick, and I was right, it was. And I was teleported to this very dark place. A lot of stuff happened there, a lot of scary stuff. And in that place, a noose appeared around my neck, and I almost died, but somehow I overcame it. But when I got back, I still had this bruise.
Are you sure something around your neck causing you to choke?
There might have been some pain, but I know it wasn't. I wouldn't do this willingly. I wouldn't want that. I have too much to live for. There are people who are depending on me.
Well, I mean, if it happens again, let us know. But like I said, you haven't done anything wrong to me.
If he does, like you just said, let us know, because I don't want anybody getting hurt the way I have.
Yeah, no problem.
Cool. Pinky promise? She holds out her pinky.
Sure.
Promise! Alright, I think we got enough kindling. You want to head back?
That sounds fine.
Alrighty. And she starts heading back.
Okay. George,
Hmm.
over to you and Mom.
Oh boy.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
So you're just finding kindling too?
Yep.
Okay. As you're going out into the woods, Mom looks over to you.
Hmm.
So, how often do you pick on this young boy?
Lad? I didn't mean to. Not often. Mostly, I spend my time trying to protect him.
Okay, that's good.
He needs a lot of protecting.
What do you mean he needs a lot of protecting?
He struggles with a lot of things. A lot of things that might come easily to you or me just don't really occur to him, I guess is one way to put it.
Okay. So what? You're just like his guardian?
I'd like to think I am, but clearly I'm not a very good one.
I mean, he didn't seem to resent you for the joke.
He has a hard time being angry at people. He's never really had anyone. Admittedly, until recently, I never paid him much mind, though he never paid me much mind. Our lives were separate, but after everything that happened in Freedom's Hill, well, I had the opportunity to protect him, so I took it. It had been a long time since I'd bothered.
Not like protecting him?
I do. I'm just used to the people I protect not lasting.
So you assume he's gonna die?
They all die eventually, don't they?
Yeah, well, sometimes you can put somebody's brain in a little tube and attach it to a robot, make it talk, and everyone gets all uppity.
He looks at Mom. You know that's essentially what happened to me, right?
What do you mean?
I was human once. Not
Yeah.
that anyone who knew me is alive. Well, and then he kind of pauses. Actually, I suppose it's possible that at least some people I knew became ghouls. But I've never met any.
Okay, I mean, I was human
This is true. But that's what I'm saying. You and I, we don't age like they do. Even if they live long, happy lives, they die eventually. It's hard to stay attached sometimes. Besides which, no, and he kind of lowers his head, no one I've ever cared about lived long enough to die of natural causes.
Well, I see you've got some hurt in you. So, let's start off with this then.
Hmm.
What if he wants to live forever?
I'd tell him it's not ideal, but I'd support the decision and do whatever I could to help.
So, in this hypothetical, if he did become either you or me or some robot with a brain that can talk,
George looks at Mom. Why am I starting to suspect this is less hypothetical and more part of an experiment you're planning?
well, first off, I would say, how dare you assume?
And
Second
then
off,
you would say...
and then I would say, I would do nothing without his permission.
I suppose that's fine.
So, if he stopped aging, would
Mm-hmm.
you still want him around?
Yes. I mean, I've kind of acknowledged the fact that I may be stuck with Lucas for an indeterminate amount of time.
Damn straight, bitch.
I think the fact that he sounded distant made that better.
So, even though you two fight a lot, you still want to stay his traveling companion.
Tussling is a healthy part of a relationship. If you never fight, then you never resolve any of your conflicts. Any good relationship has some conflict.
Oh, well, see, now you're speaking my language. Apparently, other people don't like fighting.
Well, I mean, you don't want to fight. I'm just saying it's something that you're going to do. I was married once. I know how it rolls.
Someone married
Yeah, honestly, that's the right way to phrase it. They married me.
you? All judging aside, what happened with that?
Well, I feel like I don't really need to clarify that she's dead. But I will.
Okay, well, how'd she die?
In nuclear fire. And he lowers his head.
Oh, so she could be like you or me.
She's not.
Have you seen her body?
At that, George kind of stiffens. I don't think so.
Well, then that sounds like to me there's still some hope to be had.
The point is, I don't know if she'd still want to save me. I was cowardly in my final days.
You're
I
still
wasn't.
pretty damn cowardly now.
Mm, I suppose that's fair.
So,
She was more than I was.
then let me ask you this, darling.
Mm,
Do you want to be with her if she was still alive?
I'd like to.
So, if she was still alive, you would like to be with her.
If
But
she'd
you
have.
don't think she would want to be with you.
No. I suspect not.
She married you.
Yeah, well then I was a young aspiring salesman. Now I'm a deranged lunatic robot.
Yes, and if she's still alive, she is either a deranged lunatic robot or a deranged lunatic ghoul. One or the other.
I mean, she always had a good head on her shoulders.
Or she could maybe not have a head on her shoulders. She could be a robot.
I have a head on my shoulders, and am a robot.
She could be a brain in a jar attached to hypothetically a dog.
He looks at Mom. Excuse me?
Moving on.
Okay.
So,
Are we discussing oh god, I forgot what they're called. I know what you're talking about. I just can't. Either way.
Robo-brain.
Well, I know Robo-Brains, but there were Robo-Brain dogs as well. Yes, Marina, that is a thing that exists.
Oh, fun.
Dogs with brain dome things.
Fun.
So, she could be nearly as bad as you right now.
Hmm.
If she still wanted to be with you, she'd be happy.
Yes.
Would you still want to keep Vlad around if you got back together with her?
Ideally, I don't see why the two would be mutually exclusive.
I'm just asking you questions, darling.
That's fine, I'm just... okay.
So, you feel
What
like
about-
protecting her.
Yes,
Then
that's kind of what I do.
where's this problem coming from?
First off, before this continues, I'm gonna ask, is anybody frustrated we're doing another George RP session?
No.
No.
We are.
I mean,
Okay.
Michael, 90% of the session has been me so far.
Actually, that is true. Okay, fair enough. Moving on.
I
I just...
had a moment with Vlad. We find fam.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure, because I know this happens a decent amount of time.
Go!
Okay, yes. What was the question again?
Where does the problem come from?
Oh. The problem is that I've made a living since I became this mechanical abomination of trying to protect people. First time, it was a little girl named Mary. Long story short, I failed. One of the few friends I've had in the duration of this abominable lifetime stitched me back together with duct tape. And I've never really gotten over that.
So, you think he's gonna die like she died?
Oh, Deacon? No, I'm fairly certain he's some kind of eldritch abomination.
Okay.
Oh, or wait, were we talking about Vlad?
We were, but who is this Deacon?
Oh, he's the person who stitched me back together with duct tape.
Well, alright.
No, sorry, continue. Yes, I have a strong suspicion Vlad will not survive.
And if he does?
Well, I'll be happy that he did. It's a sort of pessimistic logic I like to use. If people die, I try not to let it drag me down too much. But on the off chance they live, I get to be pleasantly surprised. I guess, if that makes sense.
What do you think he's capable?
George does a 1,000-yard stare to the woods.
Mom gives you a slight nod. Okay, well that speaks volumes.
I would love to say that I have high expectations for him. But I would not be being entirely truthful.
Okay, well how is he in a fight?
That's why I would be not entirely truthful.
How is he with people?
He goes back to staring for a moment. He means well, but he doesn't have any experience in life, in combat. He doesn't know how to deal with people. He doesn't know how to deal with stressful situations. He's also terrified of showing weakness, which lends back to a toxic family situation, which I'm starting to accept might be beyond my control.
So his family's alive.
Members of it. I can certainly say his mother isn't. Well, theoretically.
What do you mean theoretically?
Well... So, okay. So let me preface this by saying the person that we know as his mother was an awful, terrible, sadistic individual.
Okay, not a good start, but go on.
That individual is extremely dead. Like, oh boy, the level of dead that she is.
Okay, well how's she die?
Well, she was stabbed a couple times, and then I shot her in the face. The eye, specifically. And he pulls out... Oh, wait, no, he didn't have the double mag, did he? Did he? Yes, he did.
For that
Because he
fight?
got that...
No,
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. So he pulls the double mag with this.
Face palm. Okay. Does he know you killed his mother?
Oh, absolutely. So without getting too much into the technicality of it, because I personally don't understand the device, she put a mind control helmet on him. A mind control helmet that was drilled into his skull.
Okay, well that seems a bit harsh. There are plenty of other ways to do that, but go on.
Admittedly, when I saw that she had done that, I went into a bit of a defensive blood rage. Thus me shooting her in the head.
Okay, well what about his father?
Oh, you should have seen the blood rage he went into. He's not a small man. So,
Right, well on a size from
So
him
she-
to Oleg.
I actually don't know which is larger. John?
I would say Oleg is beefier. Timothy is just taller and manlier.
So, imagine Oleg, but smarter and just kind of better toned, I guess?
Okay, well that's terrifying.
Yeah, no, you should see his father. He's even worse, and he's also several decades older. And yet somehow stronger and more terrifying. Regardless, you'll meet the Credences eventually. Regardless, we also determined that this woman was not his biological mother, but a synth replicant. we don't know what happened to his actual mother.
Okay, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah. The general assumption is that she's been dead for a long time. But we don't know that. We've never seen her body. We've just seen the body of the synth. And we know that his biological mother was not a synth, because so far as I recall, even Gen 3 synths can't give birth.
You don't know that. You could try.
I suppose not, but even still.
Well,
So Vlad's had it rough, in essence.
alright, so based on his family, you don't think he has potential?
Oh, he definitely has potential. But his mental state is fractured, and I don't know if it's fixable. He seems to have not started with a full deck, if you know what I mean. And I mean that in the kindest way. Like, he's a genuinely good person. He tries to help whenever he can. He just doesn't know how.
So why is it your responsibility to take care of him?
George kind of looks a little angry as he says this. Because someone asked him.
Does his father not stay around?
His father let him believe that he was an orphan his whole life.
Why?
I've yet to get a satisfactory answer to that.
Okay, and what is this man's name?
Timothy Credence.
Well, then I will be paying Timothy Credence a visit.
The man could snap you like a twig.
So could Olay. That doesn't stop me.
That is fair. I've made my point. He
So-
did protect Vlad, don't get me wrong, but he also refused to take responsibility as being his father. He made no effort to help him grow up balanced, and he willingly let him think that he didn't have a family. That's hard for me to reconcile.
Well, some things happen. You gotta make some choices in your life. Sometimes they might not be the right choices, but at the time, they seem like the right choices. Sure, some people later on down the line will get all up in a tizzy about what happened to mommy, why is she the dog, but at the time you think it's the right thing to do.
I'm just going to let that slide.
Mommy, I should have my voice.
I love you. It's just a pure speech modulator. Okay. The point I'm trying to get at, Vlad needs a lot more than a defender. He needs a father, a family, people to teach him how to live, rather than just survive.
Okay, well then, what about a boyfriend or girlfriend?
I don't know.
That doesn't
I-
help me.
I just don't know.
Okay, well what is he into? Is he into boys? Is he into girls? Is he into animals? We don't judge.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know if the boy has those feelings at all.
Have you asked?
No. Why? It's not my place?
Well, you seem to be making it your place.
I mean, I try not to be a judgy person. Like, I grew up at the Catholic Church. I try to not do that kind of shit anymore. It's not a good way to live. For anybody.
Well, Nita is being hunted by a whole town, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Are you implying you were... Oh, it's dog thing. Never mind. It's like, I'm not going to say that it was fair they hunted you, but I will say I can kind of understand why that might have occurred.
Hey, darling, this isn't about me, this is about you.
We'll talk about the dog thing.
Mom gives you a hard look. We will not be talking about the dog thing.
You brought it up.
I did no such thing. You're the one bringing it up. Now drop it.
Fine.
So, how do you feel about your other party members? How about Lucas? I know you don't like him.
Oh, I like him. I do care about Lucas quite a fair bit. Mostly because he's one of the few people who I think actually gets it.
Have you asked him on a date?
First of all, he has a boyfriend. Secondly, I do not want a boyfriend. Thirdly, I lack the ability to copulate. This
have
is
not
fairly
determined that just yet.
I have, and then George pauses, and the rest of our party have in fact seen me naked and confirmed that that is not a possibility.
Darling, and he puts his hand on your shoulder. Darling, things can be added and taken away as needed, alright?
I don't want a penis. I've gone long enough without one. I have no intentions of getting one.
Look, I know some people gotta try new experiences. It doesn't have to be a penis.
It's not a new experience.
Or maybe we could give you some other orifices.
Please, God, no. Let's drop this subject. Look.
Hear me out now. Let's not.
Look, I've said what I need to say. Vlad has a lot of problems that I don't know if I can face. I'm going to do my damnedest. But I need to acknowledge I'm not perfect, and I can't do it all myself.
But you could be.
God.
Look, all I'm saying, if you don't like who you are right now, you just change a few things. It doesn't even have to start with the penis.
Well, I did ask you about the possibility of a wig, but I think that got abandoned at some point.
Oh, I got some wigs. They're in one of my cases.
We may revisit that topic later, if I haven't decided it's a terrible idea by that time.
Darling, I'm gonna make you the prettiest robot you've ever seen.
I haven't seen many pretty robots, so frankly, I believe you.
See, you damn well should.
Oh my, I don't mean to have spoken in such a vulgar tone.
Jesus Christ. What is going on? What is happening?
Many things. For instance,
How about-
you getting a dick.
No.
Yes.
Besides, I gave up on going back to being organic a long time ago. Yeah,
You don't want to try a vagina.
no.
You
It's
could
like,
stick so many things up there.
oh my god.
Or both.
Like, obviously, when I woke up like this, I wanted to be human again, but at some point that became irrelevant.
Alright. Well then, I'll get down to what I'm going to ask.
Mm-hmm.
No more beating around the bush.
Hmm.
So, although we could be beating around the bush if you so desire, that's something we can visit later. But
Ooh.
the favor I need to ask you,
Oh God.
will you let me tinker with your body a little bit?
As long as you tell me what you're doing, I suppose.
Well, that depends on what you want me to do. I kind of like experimenting.
Oh my god.
In my current state, I prefer functionality. I don't want to be more human, I want to be more George.
What would make George George?
I want to be able to protect people.
Got it. Halo 3 bubble shield it is.
So, if you want to protect people, what do you think you need to do then?
Well, the most basic option, and he holds up the power armor arm, is to be stronger.
Okay, you want to be stronger. What do you want stronger?
Well, I do eventually plan on, getting a little symmetry here, and he holds up the other arm, because honestly, it feels kind of weird to have one arm be able to, lift a bust, and the other not be able to lift a heavy jar of mayonnaise.
Okay, well, we could see what we can do about that, but does it have to be so big?
No, I suppose not. It was just what was available at the time. Brotherhood doesn't exactly have a shortage of power armor arms.
Okay, so what I can promise you, it won't have as much girth, but it will be as hard. Okay?
You're making me uncomfortable again. And I feel like it's intentional at this point. Not gonna lie.
Okay, well that just hurts. You wound me.
I'm not trying to wound you, I'm just saying that felt like a very targeted innuendo.
So, do you want an upgrade?
Yes.
Because I can do many things. I can, make you look pretty if you so desire. I can give you a few extra bits if you so desire. I could take away a few things if you so desire.
George's eyes get large. You talked about making a robo brain.
Yes.
So that means you've worked with neuro. You've worked with brains.
Depending on what kind of brain, yes.
So, I realize this isn't exactly a well-known field, but so something happened a while back that I haven't quite gotten over.
Okay, tell me.
Someone went into my head and made me do things I wasn't comfortable with.
Oh, darling, we all get there sometimes. We can get you tested for anything.
That's not what I mean. He made me threaten my friends. That is not kosher.
Oh, so you want to be able to block all the nasty stuff.
Yes. I want to prevent anyone except from me from thinking thoughts in this head. Now, I don't know if that's something you could help me manage,
Well, that
but
depends. When do you want it done by?
as soon as possible. Because I'm going to be real honest with you here, friend. I don't think I've seen this person for the last time.
Okay, then what are you willing to risk to get it?
Seeing as keeping this danger present means risking everyone I care about, my life.
Okay, good. So, I got a few options for you.
Okay, the good does not fill me with great confidence.
It fills me with confidence and it fills me with joy. Let me have this.
Okay then.
So, option one, you either kill the son of a bitch who did this to you, and you give me little pieces of his brains.
Oh, I absolutely plan on killing him when I find him. However, I haven't found him.
Okay, well you work on that, and then when you do, you give me little bits of his brain, and I'll work on that for you. Or you find some of the smartest synths you can find, and you just bring me their head. Or you get a bunch of little human brains and you give me.
Okay, literally everything you have said are things I am not willing to do.
Okay, but you said you'd give up your life for this.
I said my life. I consider myself at least somewhat expendable. What you're talking about is other people's lives.
Okay. So you already said you're gonna kill someone. I'm pretty sure people like you go around killing other people. And I'm pretty sure you have killed some synths every now and
Mm.
then. What's one
I've
or two more?
killed. I'm not going to seek someone out just to kill them. If I wind up killing someone who fits the criteria and somehow have the ability to, I don't know, somehow save their brain, yeah, sure.
Well, if you want to go with the boring option, you get me some of the smartest computers you can find, and I'll do what I can.
So just like tear apart a computer and bring you parts?
It's got to be a really strong computer, though.
I suppose I could manage that.
Alright, you do that, and we can change a few things about you. If you want your voice changed, I could do that too.
Nah, I'm happy with this. I've
I
come to
wouldn't
terms
be.
with it. So
She's
long as I
assassin
can
with key. Sorry.
so long as I can resist mind control, I think I'm all right. I feel like they're no offense, but I feel like for the kind of physical modifications I want, I'm better going to an armorer than a surgeon.
Alright. You wanted to spit in my face on that? You can spit in my face on that.
I mean, if you're telling me that you're qualified to attach a fucking power drill to my arm, then please.
Darling, I have attached things to places that should not be attached to.
I did watch you rip out a man's teeth and put in new ones. I suppose I shouldn't really question much.
Look, you want some things that are done that aren't exactly, let's say, mainly settlement friendly, you
Mm.
come to me. You want things done by the book, boring, blah blah, you go to someone else.
Alright, give me a theoretical something you would do that someone else wouldn't.
Well, for one, we're just
That
gonna
isn't a
scrap.
penis.
Okay, for another thing, we're just gonna scrap those legs,
Mm-hmm.
and we can either do a few things. We could play around here. We could have you flying, just attach a big jet under you, and just
Mm.
fly.
Sounds a little dicey, and I do like having legs.
Okay, well then we can go with the other option. If we just scrap those legs, then you can have a few more legs than you really need, help you get to better places, higher places, attach to things easier.
How about we just make the legs better?
You want to make the legs better? We're gonna make the legs better.
I would rather keep my appendages.
Okay, Mr. Boring. If you want to keep your legs, then we can add those a mini version of those jets to the bottom of your feet.
That I could get behind.
We could also add, it would make it so you can no longer have any jets on the bottom of your feet, but you'd be able to stick to most surfaces.
That would be a gimmick, but a fun gimmick. Good for parties.
And we could also add a little more pep in your step, make you jump a little higher, go a little farther.
I'm torn.
Let me
Between
ask you
jet
this.
boot.
Have you ever kicked a building down?
I can safely say that no. However, I have watched a person kick a building down. It was about as terrifying as I expected it to be. He was roughly 72. He survived.
Okay, well, what kind of body modifications does he have?
So far as I know, he eats his spinach.
Okay, so, for one, stop joking with me. Two, there's no way a regular human being can bring down a building and be fine.
I never said he was regular. James Credence is the stuff of my nightmares. And God forbid I ever encountered him during my fight with the Brotherhood. I would not be standing here. That
Well,
man is horrifying. I cannot state this enough. He murdered a Deathclaw, carved it out, and wears it as a suit. I don't mean he skinned it and made a Deathclaw leather outfit. No. He hollowed out a Deathclaw and crawled inside of it.
It's not wrong.
Mom looks at you in disgust and fear. Okay.
That's fair.
A little worse than Oleg.
A little. Okay, you know what? I will bet you money that he is still wearing it.
But you took it off.
He
I
did.
don't think he did. Did
Yes,
he?
he did.
He did.
Fine. I thought he was still wearing it. Look. Even I don't want to be that terrifying.
Okay. What do you dream to be? How strong do you want to become?
I want to be as strong as a suit of power armor. That is an acceptable level of strength.
Okay, well you're kind of lowballing it there, but alright.
Okay, I want to be as powerful as a super high-end suit of power armor. Is that better? Talking XO 1, the kind of shit those Enclave boys wore before, they all got shot to death.
Alright, little better, but still you could be better. But, for now, we'll stick with power armor.
It's also a good, safe basis. We know what power armor does. I can find the parts. Again, we essentially live on a Brotherhood airship. I'm sure I can convince them to part with a suit.
Well, how'd you get the first armor?
Technically I didn't acquire it. I gave it to a Brotherhood armorer and he whipped it up for me. So presumably he just got the piece.
Okay, so why don't you do that with the rest of
He could.
it? So, tell me, you're the mayor of this new settlement. How do you feel about a few people changing how they look?
Is it consensually?
Most of the time.
See, we need to get rid of that most of the time.
Look, some people just don't understand my craft. They get a little hostile. I do what I must.
Let me make something clear and follow it up with a offer. With a few
Oh boy.
communication on people.
Okay, so you cut out.
That being... Oh, okay. Am I back? Or am I back now?
I heard the whole time.
Oh, then I
Okay,
cut out.
Sky.
Okay, one more time.
With the exception of a few notable individuals, I'm not okay with you performing experiments on people. Certainly not okay with you performing experiments on any of the people who live in my settlement. That being said, there are certain individuals that, should I capture them, not only would I be supportive of you performing horrible experiments on you, I would demand any information you got as a result.
Okay, I can work with that.
I would also happily hogtie them and bring them directly to you.
Alright, we'll settle for that. For now, I think we spent too much time out here. Let's go back
Yeah,
to that fire.
I've collected like 14 pounds of sticks.
Well,
Like
that's good
small
for you.
sticks.
That's good
Just
for you.
imagine.
You carry that all back. Let it be
Yeah.
known, Mom is carrying nothing.
I figured. I think George kind of accepted that before this even started. It's like, yeah, it's not happening.
So, for the sake of posterity, I will say everyone comes back to the camp relatively the same time.
Alright,
So,
Big Zan.
you're gonna start a fire then?
Yep, start a roaring bonfire covered in crab meat. Only way to do it.
Okay. Then, as the fire is going, Oleg has finished carving the bear. He's, I guess, tanning the pelts right now, so he knows how to tan. The bones he has left. The organs he hucked somewhere into the woods. And the meat he has just haphazardly put it on a stick and put it on the fire.
Okay.
And basically says, anyone take what you want.
Cool.
And as the night is starting to wind down a little bit, it's been about 10, 15 minutes since the fire was started and you guys have started eating. The white-haired woman comes from behind everyone's view, but still within Lucas, George, and Nancy's view.
Alright. George kind of gives a sort of half-hearted wave, just acknowledging her presence.
Nancy's looking for the kids that were with her before to see if they're there.
Not see them.
You do alright without us, Ice Queen?
She looks at you three and then looks at everyone else who's here. And then, without saying anything, just mouths, "Why did you call me?"
George walks over.
Okay.
So I'm
Anyone else
assuming
joining
he...
him?
I'll walk up as well. Giving her
I'm
kind of
gonna
a odd
say-
look.
I'm gonna.
I remember what she's talking about.
Oh, yeah, we said we would color with a fire. So we
Yeah,
fucked up.
we need a fire for camp.
Yeah, but she thinks that we called her over for an important reason. I'm gonna say Nancy comes with them, but stays somewhat of a distance, kind of hanging in the back of the trio.
Okay. So, as
We need...
walk over to her, are you going to alert others about her presence or no?
I mean, I
I'll-
did speak up.
I'll say before he walks away, George I'm gonna say specifically to Sarah, because she's the one who I feel is probably going to be the most suspect. Just says, like, this is the rest of our group. They kind of wanted to travel separate, but I think we inadvertently signaled them to come over, so I'm gonna go clear that up.
Sarah looks at you curiously, but also resigns to her fate. Her guards are really on edge. Oleg doesn't care.
Yeah.
Oleg's having fun. He's got a bare
Yeah.
arm.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I can tell you they're not a threat to us in any way. This one in particular is just really not a people person. She doesn't even like us.
Sarah looks at you. So, then why are you Go away. Go away.
So yeah, I'm over there with George and Whitehair.
Yep.
And Nancy.
Hmm.
Well, because I know she mouthed, why did
Yeah.
you call us? Like, we need to make it fire for camp. I'm sorry I flaked on that being the signal. And besides which, we were going to have to signal you anyway because we're moving out. Though I assumed you already knew that, judging by all of the scouts. So, sorry about the confusion. If you want to travel with us, you're obviously welcome to, but I figured you'd all want to travel on your own. That seems to be how you do it.
For now, we'll travel on our own.
How about how about I propose a different signal, one that isn't so universally used for, camp. I'll fire off a reaver ball if we're actually in danger.
That works better than me Deathclaw screeching.
I'm sure you'll be able to hear the explosion.
Maybe, depending on where we are. The best thing for you to do would be, and she holds out her hand, and one of the birds that have been following you lands in her hand. Just shoot one of these guys.
I will not shoot a bird.
She looks at you oddly. Why?
The bird's innocent. Didn't do anything. Besides, I don't really think our friend would like that.
She's the one that suggested it.
Mm.
Look, without giving away a lot, we feel things differently.
I've gathered that much.
I thought you called me because I can feel fire. You will know you call her because one of her birds will just disappear. Not of her volition. So,
Okay.
it's not like it's hurting her or anything. The bird, at that point, won't even feel anything, so long as she doesn't want it.
Even still, I feel like killing the bird is unnecessary. Besides which, how would firing a bullet be any less noticeable than him launching a green ball into the air? It's not exactly quiet. Can't the
Alright,
bird
fine.
see us? Couldn't I just wave at the bird?
Well, if you want her to constantly use her power to look at you through the eyes of a bird as you're traveling, by all means.
No, George, I'll shoot the bird.
No, I'll shoot the bird.
What? Okay.
I'm the one who tried to argue against it. If I have no choice, I have no choice.
So, misunderstanding. We'll be going.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. Just don't put them in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Understood. Tell her George says hi.
Alright.
Greta.
And she turns to walk away.
Yeah, George sort of heads back to the camp.
Lucas and Nancy doing anything?
Yeah, I'm just
She
going
waves
back to the camp.
bye, and then heads back to the camp.
Okay. So, I will say that's where we ended.
Oh,
That's fair.
cool.
Okay.
I am the sleepy.
Are you the sleeping?
I am the sleepy.
Then go take the eternal sleep.
I want to sleep for that long.
Just 10 more minutes. It's eternity or nothing.
Death or nothing. Take it or leave it.
I choose death. Wait, no, I meant cake.
Oh,
Fuck that! I choose death! He chooses death. Death. By Boomda.